Ronnie, you handle like the claims and a lot of the problems that happen around here. Talk about your approach to that and just making sure that the agents are really taken care of.
So what we do is we like to be very proactive actually about all of these claims as soon as they come in. Even if there's not a claim, we're not 100% sure if there's going to be a claim or not, we open up a file, we reach out to the agent, we send the documents that they might need, and then we set reminders to follow up to ensure that just in case a claim might arise, that we're on top of it. We notify the carrier that there might be a claim. So I think that's one of the biggest things for us is that we like to be proactive instead of just saying, oh, might not happen, we'll deal with it if they say there's going to be a damage notice. We actually had one of those today, so that's why I'm like, yeah, you know what, we're pretty proactive when it comes to those things.
I can imagine for the agents, it's a huge time saver for them.
Yeah.
Allows them to really stay in their sweet spot of working with customers and selling the freight and doing what they do best. How much pride is there in your team to know that you're putting your agents really in the best position to stay in their sweet spot?
I think we have a lot of pride. I think our whole department, we just love to assist them as much as possible and try and do, if we're able to pick up the phone and try and get something verified for them, for the carrier, we'll go ahead and do that as much as we can, as well as like in terms of claims, exactly the same thing. If they want us to reach out to their customer, if they feel comfortable with us doing that, then we'll do that instead of them having to go back and forth with the customer, but we can handle that. That way they don't want to know. Some of them want to know, some of them don't want to know, and then we just handle it. Next thing you know, it's settled. We're like, hey, it's all good to go, it's been closed. And then some of them want to know continuously throughout the process, and we just keep them updated. And sometimes, we reach out to them and just let them know what's going on regarding the claim and everything else.
What's the relationship like between agents and between your team? Have you guys worked side by side and really get to know each other, or is it really just when problems arise that you communicate with the department?
Whole client care department, it's definitely, we get to know each other. Like, they'll call, they'll be like, hey, hey Shivrani, hey Asya, hey Cristine, can you do this for me? So it's definitely people we talk to every single day on a day-to-day basis. It's not like, we ask how we're doing and then we get to, oh, hey, can you help me with this? Or, hey, can you transfer me over this person? We still have a conversation. If somebody's calling for Cristine, but I pick up the phone, they'll be like, hey, Shivrani, how are you? It's like, hey, I was actually working with Cristine on something. Can you transfer me over to her? So it's definitely a relationship that we have. It's some people we speak to every single day. So that's definitely what we've built with all of our agents.
What do you enjoy most about being a part of the SPI Logistics team?
I think the culture of SPI is amazing. I love meeting all of our agents every year when we do meet them, and I've gotten to know them very well at this point and have a relationship with all of them as well. So it's really nice to it's nice that we're able to go ahead and do that. We're able to actually meet our agents when we do. And then the same thing with our staff and our team. We all work as a team. It's not like, oh, you're in that department, that's not our job. We are always collaborating. If it's like a payable, accounts receivable, it doesn't matter. It's like, oh, I can assist with this. I think everybody's always willing to help when it comes to SPI.
So Cristine, you're in charge of training and development here at SPI Logistics, and training is so important. I think that's one of the reasons why people often fail is because they just haven't been properly trained. What's the philosophy around here with a new agent, just to make sure that they hit the ground running?
Well, the philosophy is that we assume nothing. So we start as if we cover everything and say, okay, if you're already aware of this, but we'll keep going. And we typically will cover the basics. We would hope that the agents that are coming on board, if they've been in the industry a very long time, understand how to run a set of miles, how long a driver can be on the road without having those issues. But it's interesting to find how there may be gaps with people. So we don't assume that they know everything. We basically come at it from, I'm going to start from scratch, I'm going to give you the basics, how the system works, plus everything that goes on with working with a load, calling your shipper, finding out what their hours of operation are. We'd be amazed at how many people don't do that, and then we get calls at the department 5:30 in the afternoon saying, I'm at the receiver and it's closed, what do I do? So those are the things that we cover just to make sure that there aren't gaps that they might necessarily have, so we can make sure that they don't get those calls on a Friday afternoon while they're out with the family saying, no, I'm stuck, and they lose 3 hours.
So what does that training and onboarding look like for a new agent?
Typically, training and onboarding is 3 one-hour sessions for an agent, but it's not strictly 3 hours. It's not like after 3 hours they're done, we don't want to hear from them again. Our philosophy is if you can't figure something out in 10 minutes or less, give us a call. because if you're not making money, you're not being productive. And during those training sessions, we walk through the system on their computer. We connect up with ConnectWise or TeamViewer or Zoom, depending on what their system is capable of doing. And then we walk them through the software itself, from the beginning of the homepage through the accounts, transportation profiles, their loads, and pretty much how the whole entire thing works, how they can set it up so it's customized for them, for what they want to see and what they don't want to see. And then we typically tell them as well that, after the 3 sessions, to give us a call if they have a problem. It could be next day, 2 days, every day for the first month. And typically we have agents that have been with us 10, 15 years and they still call and say, I'm stuck, I can't remember how to do a freight plan, can you walk me through it? And we say, absolutely yes, that's what we're here for.
Yeah, I love that. And with technology becoming a greater and greater influence just throughout freight brokerage in general, you guys continue to add technology. What is it like for continual education?
Continual education, we use the Salesforce platform. So they upgrade and do things about 4 times a year, and Revenova uses them. So they do about twice a year, they do upgrades and things. So about every 6 months, there's something new that was coming out within the platform itself that they have listened to their clients, which we are one of, how to improve their product, which then helps us. So they do listen to us as clients, and we are listening to our agents saying, you know what, this section doesn't work so great, or, it would be really great if I had this option. So we in turn give that information to them. They then put it into production. So about twice a year, there's upgrades that we do, and then we create videos, which are located on our SPI net. We also have PDFs because not everybody learns the same way. And we do also do webinars for those to let the agents know this is coming out, and they are recorded and found on SPI net as well if they want to review, because not everybody can take an hour out of their day, especially if they've got one of those clients that they've got hands-on really busy.
So what is your favorite thing about being a part of the SPI Logistics team?
Favorite part of being part of the SPI team is actually the agents. I enjoy talking to them on the phone. Everybody's their unique personality. It's wonderful. Even if it's the same thing that I'm talking to maybe 6 different agents about how to build a load. Everybody comes at it a different way, even though the software works the same, personalities are different, and it's just wonderful to talk to these different people who are so excited and driven about their work and their job, and they really love being freight brokers. And I like being a part of, helping them accomplish what they want to do and to grow their business. Well, we're very hands-on. We are, like I say, it's not just the 3 1 hours. They can call up and say, what am I having a problem with? So we try and cater the training for them. So it's not cookie cutter training, it never is. It's always, when you call, I would ask you, well, what is your business? What do you do? What loads do you move? How are things, the last software you had, what was frustrating about it? What do you do on a daily basis that drags you down? So as we're training, we're trying to streamline as well.
So Adrian, you're on the customer care side, which means that you're working with the agents on just mainly any problems that they might have. Talk a little bit about your approach to that. What are you trying to accomplish when you work with these agents?
Yeah, so our main goal of the department is to essentially support the success of these agents. We want to make sure that they, one of the big things with agents is they always have to deal with their own back-end stuff, whether it's accounting, documentation, management, even just creating documentation in general, which can be a lot to deal with for them. But with the system and with what we do, we want to be able to relieve a lot of that back-end stuff so that way they can focus on the sales and the customer relations part of their whole business.
How often are agents reaching out to your team for help? Is it a daily occurrence? Is it multiple times a day? Is it weekly? How often do you get to connect with the agents?
It's daily, yeah. So we have a small team of about 7 people, and yeah, we do receive probably about a dozen emails every hour, and then there are the phone calls. And it's a lot of the small things, it's a lot of the big things, but it's, yeah, I think we are a very crucial portion of what kind of adds to the agent's success, not to be, humbly speaking.
Well, certainly the success behind it all is there's people making things happen. That's your team that's doing that. Just to allow them to stay in their sweet spot.
Exactly.
So they can stay focused on what they do best.
Mm-hmm.
No, I think that's great. What do you enjoy most about being a part of the SPI Logistics team?
Yeah, so I think it just feels very fulfilling to see the agents grow. We've seen some agents start small and on their own and eventually grow with their own team. And being the company that is able to back them and see the way they can be the best version of themselves just feels good as a company that is meant to support people like that.
So you're definitely a team player. So it's
Yeah.
nice to see the team succeed and to see them do
Exactly.
their best, which is awesome. That's cool. I love it. Yeah.